President Trump rolling out a major plan to finally clean up America's streets. The president signing an executive order allowing cities and states to remove homeless people off the street and into treatment centers, promising federal funds to help in that effort. The order also enforcing prohibitions on open illicit drug use, urban camping, and loitering, plus urban squatting.
The White House bashing the Biden administration for allowing homelessness to run rampant in American cities. The number of individuals living on the streets hitting the highest recorded level last year at nearly 275,000. Joining us now, former homeless addict and recovery advocate, Tom Wolf. Tom, it's great to see you. I'm sure this is welcome news to hear that the president is doing this executive order. As we stated, you've previously been addicted to drugs, homeless. You went to an inpatient program, got better, got off the streets. How will this executive order and what President Trump is trying to do help others achieve that same goal?
Well, what it's going to do is it's going to provide, first of all, an incentive for cities to actually start enforcing the laws that are already on the books. You have to understand that even in San Francisco, there is a ban on street camping. It just hasn't been enforced for years and years and years. Now, cities can actually go out and enforce the law and get some resources from the federal government as an incentive for them to actually build out shelters, build more treatment, hold people accountable. A lot of people don't realize, or they don't want to admit, that the drugs is fueling a lot of the homeless crisis, and that once you get down to the street, drugs keep you there. So by actually providing funding to help open up more treatment spaces for people, we can get people the help they need and get them healthy. People that are on the street are just like me in that most have the capability to make a new life if they're given the right opportunities to do so. So this is a great step in that direction.
So there's a combination of people who you will find who are homeless, drug and alcohol addicted, or severely mentally ill, or dual diagnosis, Tom, a combination of the two. Is there enough bed space, whether it's in treatment centers? Because if you look at, say, state psychiatric beds available in this country, they don't even know how many severely mentally ill people are homeless in this country. And just based on rough calculation, there are 20,000, at a bare minimum, 20,000 more severely mentally ill homeless people on the street right now than there are state psychiatric beds nationwide.
Yeah, I mean, you're absolutely right. So that's where this executive order comes in, because again, it's going to provide funding for those things. What people have to understand is with this executive order is that it doesn't mean that tomorrow, poof, all the people on the street are going to disappear. It requires time and effort and grant funding, all that stuff to build out infrastructure. But what it does is it basically puts the policies that we've had in place, the radical harm reduction policies, housing first, all of that on blast to let them know that things are going to change. We have to start actually building out infrastructure. We can't just take someone off the street, stick them in a hotel room with their drugs and wash our hands of it and say, hey, we've housed them, because 2 weeks later we find a body in that room because they've died of an overdose. We actually have to fund treatment. This executive order begins that process and starts that conversation, which is the most important thing. It changes the narrative to one that focuses on treatment, accountability, and recovery, something that's been missing from our policies around homelessness for the last decade or more.
And for the severely mentally ill, taking away the stigmatization of institutions and hospitalization. Go ahead, Lee.
Well, and what I love that it does too is encouraging via grants states and municipalities to do a whole host of things. You know, prohibit illicit drug use, urban camping, loitering, urban squatting. Just clean up a lot of our cities in states. And Tom, hopefully more people who are homeless can get clean and get off the streets like you did. And I know you've been advocating for that and for them. So Tom Wolf, we thank you so much for what you've done, and great to see you thriving in life and successful. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.